As eloquently stated by George Bernard Shaw, progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Taking care of the environment is a difficult task. However, it will prove to be beneficial not only to us but to everyone. To those people open to change, to those willing to practice waste disposal. Watch the video prepared by Group 4 of Grade 12 Isaac.
What comes to mind when you hear the word waste disposal?
Does it make you think about the waste and clearing up waste?
Waste disposal is removing and destroying or storing damaged, used, or other unwanted domestic, agricultural, or industrial products and substances. Disposal includes burning, burial at landfill sites or at sea, and recycling.
Proper waste disposal is the act of being efficient and effective in trash disposal without inflicting further harm to our environment. It is the act of collection, processing, and recycling or deposition of the waste materials of human society, hazardous waste, and electronic waste, but through proper means and methods.
As for the scope, waste management is basically all those activities which require disposal techniques from its beginning to the final disposal. This practice is intended to decrease the adverse effects of harmful waste on the health of human beings as well as the environment. It can also offer solutions for recyclable items that do not belong to garbage or trash.
As for the source, every day, tons of solid waste is disposed of at various landfill sites. This waste comes from homes, offices, industries, and various other agricultural-related activities. These landfill sites produce foul smell if waste is not stored and treated properly. It can pollute the surrounding air and can seriously affect the health of humans, wildlife, and our environment. The following are the major sources of solid waste, starting with
Residential. Residences and homes where people live are some of the major sources of solid waste. Garbage from these places include food wastes, plastics, paper, glass, leather, cardboard, metals, yard wastes, ashes, and special waste like bulky household items such as electronics, tires, batteries, old mattresses, and used oil. Most homes have garbage bins where they can throw away their solid wastes, and later, the bin is emptied by a garbage collecting firm or person for treatment.
followed by industrial. Industries are known to be one of the biggest contributors of solid waste. They include light and heavy manufacturing industries, construction sites, fabrication plants, canning plants, power, and chemical plants. These industries produce solid waste in form of housekeeping waste, food waste, packaging waste, ashes, construction and demolition materials, special waste, medical wastes, and as well as other hazardous wastes.
Next up would be commercial. Commercial facilities and buildings are yet another source of solid waste today. Commercial buildings and facilities in this case refer to hotels, markets, restaurants, go-downs, stores, and office buildings. Some of the solid waste generated from these places include plastics, food waste, metals, paper, glass, wood, cardboard materials, special wastes, and other hazardous wastes.
Followed by institutional. The institutional centers like schools, colleges, prisons, military barracks, and other government centers also produce solid waste. Some of the common solid waste obtained from these places include glass, rubber, plastics, food waste, wood, paper, metals, cardboard materials, electronics, as well as other hazardous wastes.
Followed by construction and demolition areas. Construction sites and demolition sites also contribute to the solid waste problem. Construction sites include new construction sites for buildings and roads, road repair sites, building renovation sites, and building demolition sites. Some of the solid waste produced in these places include steel materials, concrete, wood, plastics, rubber, copper wires, dirt, and glass.
Then, municipal services. The urban centers also contribute immensely to the solid waste crisis in most countries today. Some of the solid waste brought about by municipal services include street cleaning, waste from parks and beaches, wastewater treatment plants, landscaping waste, and waste from recreational areas, including sludge.
Followed by agriculture. Followed by agriculture. Crop farms, orchards, dairies, vineyards, and feedlots are also sources of solid wastes. Among the waste they produce include agricultural wastes, spoiled food, pesticide containers, and other hazardous materials.
Last would be biomedical. This refers to hospitals, biomedical equipment, and chemical manufacturing firms. In hospitals, there are different types of solid waste produced. Some of these waste include syringes, bandages, used gloves, drugs, paper, plastics, food waste, and chemicals. All these require proper disposal or else they will cause a huge problem to the environment and to the people in these facilities.
Now that we can estimate the scope and source of the problem, we will now move on to the possible impacts that it may bring.
Did you know the Philippines generates an estimated 43,684 tons of garbage daily, including 4,609 tons of plastic waste, according to government data, and proper disposal facilities are lacking for much of it. It impacted us in a way that the trash is piling up on land, eating up the space for other infrastructures, clogging coastlines, spilling into the sea where it kills fish life, and traveling to remote corners of the globe, as the country fails to meet targets for improved waste management that is signed into law 18 years ago.
According to my classmate Jasa, there are a lot more than that. Problems could also extend to soil contamination to improper waste disposal. Not segregating the different kinds of trash would lead to this scenario. We should separate them so that we can recycle other items and also make the non-recyclable serve as fertilizer for the soil. First up at the list is air pollution. This happens when we burn items such as plastics or non-biodegradable things. Non-biodegradable objects should be recycled, not to be burned, and must be thrown properly. Water pollution. Not taking care of Mother Earth is a really big problem with our community. Improper waste management and throwing chemicals at sea lands to contamination of our water would result to killing living things in the process and further to sicken our society. Waste products. Chemicals that are being used should be in the proper placement or proper waste management. Mixing with the other trash or throwables would lead to different kinds of pollution. As Betty Williams once said, there's no use talking about the problem if you do not talk about the solution. It doesn't matter how big the predicament is, as long as you strive to seek the answer, it'll come to you. Next up would be the possible solutions towards achieving proper waste disposal.
Composting waste is an option for getting rid of your household waste. You can compost lots of items: food waste, animal waste, yard waste, and much more. Basically, anything that is organic can be composted and will break down into rich compost that can be used for a variety of things. For example, people use their compost for fertilizer for their lawns and plants. Be sure that if you are going to compost, you build a compost bin because it is a process that does take. Buy products that are good in environment. Instead of purchasing those plastic cup bottles, find a way that you can buy things that are more environmental. When you cut down on the waste that you created, you will cut down on the needs for waste disposal. Some of these items include bottle openers, calendars, coloring books, and much more. Just by purchasing these products, you can do so much. And this is a great solution. There are a lot of products that are compostable or products that use recycled materials.
And through recognizing the problem, I sure do hope that we'd also be able to discern the solution.
As a conclusion, I can surely reiterate to you that the world suffers a lot through repeated inefficient and complete disregardment of the world's environment.
We need to start now if you want to turn things around. As long as you remain open minded towards the situation, then there is still a chance to change.
Every small contribution has its own worth. This is Group 4 of 12 Isaac, believing that every small step in the right direction counts. Thank you for listening and God bless.